Hi everybody, my name is Sarah Bowling. I am team lead for the communications staff. I regret that I wasn't able to be there in person today. I'm currently at Paint Creek. I have set aside this hour and am eagerly awaiting your phone calls, IMs, text messages, webcams, emails, however you want to get in touch with me if the folks that represent our communications team are not there to address these issues. Hopefully they are there. What we're currently working on, we've taken a look at the cubicle issue, which was not something that we initiated, the cubicle noise and those partition extensions that were brought in, but we do see this as an element which falls into communications. There's people who like the extensions and there's people who still have some issues, so we want to keep working with staff and maybe bring up this issue with staff again to see if they have suggestions or ideas, those that work in cubicles, on what they want to do with this, or if we need to continue to look at that initiative. I think it's been a positive thing, and it was nice to have that come along immediately after the cultural assessment, so we had an immediate outcome. That was very helpful, but we want to continue to look at that through the communications committee. Also, another initiative that we're looking at, and actually we've launched out on this, and we're very happy to say we've got it set up for quarterly brown bag lunches. This is for the 3 sites, Training Academy, Central Office, and ITS. And we want to have these, we intend to have these quarterly. They are topical, so there will be a topic that will be addressed at each one. The communications committee will be looking at discussing the topics. Also, we're hoping that the assistant director and the director will be available for these. There will be an element of question and answer, and hopefully this will be a much more relaxed setting for people that they can feel more comfortable about asking their questions. We're hoping that the brown bag lunches could tour the sites, and we'll see how that works out. It doesn't hurt to try something out once and tweak it if we find we need some work on it. So that's an element that's out there, and we hope to launch our first one after the cultural assessment town hall hits the ground, because that will be our subject. Another initiative that we have is the yearbook project. Now this is a project that it's basically a catalog of staff. Hopefully we'll have pictures, and this is an opportunity for people to really boast about themselves, to be their own salesperson. They don't need to wait to be chosen to be Employee of the Month. They can go ahead and tell us about themselves and tell us what they do, what they're good at, tell us how they help other people. And also this is a way for people to put faces to names. There's senior staff as well as new staff who don't know somebody by name, or they'll, oh yeah, that guy, they know him by face, or there's still, folks out there, especially when you're dealing with 3 different sites. There can be an issue there. So the yearbook project, we're hoping to really start hitting the ground with some flyers and some information, and really start to encourage people to put in their submissions on that in upcoming weeks. Future initiatives that we have on tap include the placement and maintenance of the suggestion box. So for the 3 sites, we are looking at making sure there's a suggestion box at each site. Here in the central office, we'd like to add suggestion boxes in more visible places. We do have one right now that's in a lunchroom, but it's not used very much. It is not stocked, and I have no idea, not being the person who pulls these things, but I don't know how well people are using that. We want to pull this out and make it visible, put one at each time clock. We also want to make sure that there are supplies at each suggestion box. Now the staff is aware that they could submit suggestions via email, but in order to maintain the element of anonymity here, we'd like to make sure the suggestion boxes are available and that they're well stocked, and also create an information campaign for people. The other element of this is to take those suggestions and make sure that staff is aware that people are looking at them, considering them, and even taking action on some of them. So if we have the ability to say, put it on the intranet and say, this is what's happening with suggestions, this was in the suggestion box this month, or this initiative that we had as a result of a suggestion that was put in a suggestion box. So if we can bring that forward and let people know and create that amount of transparency, that would be fantastic. Another element that we're working on is a Facebook group page. This is a social media page, however it's a closed group meant only for the 3 sites. They can extend a request to join the group, and we will check them over, vet them out, and make sure they are who they say they are, and then we will accept that we will allow them to be a part of the group. Here we want to make sure that we don't overburden somebody with the task of being the webmaster on this page. We're going to kind of share the duties. The communication committee has agreed to look over the Facebook page on a daily basis, make sure there's no inappropriate content, and to report the content to the appropriate person if we do happen to come up with something. We also want to solicit key contributors, so to make sure that not one person has the burden of making sure they put an interesting post each time, or that it's a pertinent post. This should be a more casual environment for staff. But again, of course, you know, dealing within the context of the professional and what we do, we want to make sure that staff is also providing good content and solid content. So that's something that we hope to at least pilot in the next month, and we're gonna play it by ear and see what it looks like after a month, after 2 months, and see if it's going to work out. Following up with that, we also are looking at our bulletin boards. We have 2 bulletin boards, each one outside by the time clocks, and these are really underutilized. We also have the bulletin board, which is for union information. Again, that is not well utilized, and it'd be nice if we could get union staff to be more proactive in putting some current information there. Another element of that is that we would like to have a video message board, much like what you see out at the training academy, where we can have PowerPoint loop or other information, interesting visuals. I can even see us doing some inspirational stuff, like we have the empowerment posters around the office. We can use those wallpapers on something like that. Now here too, we need to solicit our staff and find people with artistic talent and maybe a little technical skills to maintain these boards. The notion is that maybe we can get somebody to adopt a month, maybe we can get 12 somebodies to adopt the entire year, or maybe somebody wants to do it twice a year. We just need to convey to staff and let them know it's okay to do a little craftiness here on the clock. You're doing it for the job, and we want you to make our bulletin boards catchy, and people will stop to look at them, and then also read the information, which is current information and pertinent information. So that will be the challenge there, is to get ourselves a cadre of staff who would like to help us do this. And again, that puts them out there and showcases their talents every month. Same with the video bulletin board, message board. Hopefully we can get people who want to showcase their talents. So that's an initiative that's out there. Also, the last thing we want to look at is our one-wish statements were very vague. We'd like to really narrow them down and come up with something that's workable for us. We want to be able to have more solid idea of what people are looking for. So that would probably include a communication survey, and we're going to look at some questions we want to ask on that in the coming month or two, and hopefully have something that we can circulate before June with any luck. Now, all of these initiatives that the communications team has taken on are basically low-hanging fruit. There is no huge outlay of cash on anything. They are immediate. They can happen. A lot of them, you know, are in the works now. These are not things that will create a need to revise code. So these are all huge advantages, and they all are things that directly are an effect of the cultural assessment, that people can see that this is the effect of what they have put into it. And hopefully we can maybe get people to be a bit more proactive about their environment and when they start talking to people, and we can open up these lines of communication. So again, if you have any questions, I want you to feel free to ask the team members that may be in the room today. And if that doesn't work out, go ahead and send me an email. I'll be happy, or IM me in real time. We can take care of that for you, okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and you have a great rest of the day.